I'm Roy G. Bivens, and this is how I'm living. Hey, y'all, welcome to my channel. Uh, my real name is Sean Mitchell. I got into professional writing about 18 years ago, writing articles for the Galveston County Daily News. That eventually led to a, uh, a brief time with the Houston Chronicle as a correspondent, and also briefly I was a correspondent for Yahoo Sports, sort of indirectly, directly but indirectly. Some of my articles wound up on the front page of Yahoo Sports, uh, including the article in which I got Coach K, Shane Battier, and former Maryland coach Gary Williams to I had interviews by them in the article. So writing is one thing I do. Another thing I do is poetry, spoken word. Uh, when I first came on the scene in Prairie View in 2007, with along with some of my friends, the Prairie View productive poets back then, like Outspoken Dean and Jeremiah Payne, otherwise known as the Fluent One. At that time, I was originally known as Poetic Nays, which is Nays is my first name spelled backwards, and I eventually changed it to Naze because too many show hosts would butcher it and call me Nas, Poetic Nas, and I didn't like that. And eventually, I came up with a concept called "I'm So Serious," and I I merged for about a month or two. I called myself Serious and Poetic Nays just based on the poem I did. So eventually, I merged the Poetic Nays and um, Serious into Serious Nays. So yeah, technically I've been doing poetry for 17 years, but it's been off and on, off and on. I've performed at venues such as Daiquiritas, Shadow Bar. I believe it's called EB5 in Cyprus, an art gallery. I've performed poetry at Union Tavern in Webster, and just a number of places. My most recent performance was at the Art of the Coffee in Lamar, right, kind of close to the post office. And so, yeah, that's just a little background with me. I also do a few other things like photography and proofreading, including books and academic work. So if you need that, you can give me a call at area code 409-750-2240, and you can reach me that way. Another thing I'm really into is fashion. Um, as you may have noticed, I'm in a lot of green today, except for my rose-colored glasses. I'll get into that later. But I I'm in a lot of green because it's St. Patrick's Day, and um, as you can see in my them from head to toe, I am covered in green and blue because Notre Dame's colors is has blue. So I take my fashion very seriously. Um, I color coordinate almost to the point of obsessive compulsive. Almost. I wouldn't call myself that, but I just like to match. Not too feminine, not too colorful, but at the same time, a lot of colors, and I often do it in layers. So I'll be wearing a Echo hoodie, and I'll wear an Echo shirt underneath it, for example, with Echo socks, and they're usually the same color as the outfit. So that's just a little something that I do, and I'm trying to think of if there's anything else relevant. that I need to tell you guys. I'm on Instagram. That's Instagram/Roy ROYG as in GEE. So Roy ROYGEE Bivens BIVENS. Um, and I I'm also on Facebook. Just look up. You can look up my writers page when I'm a writer and a few other more formal things, more professional. I have a page for that. It's Sean Mitchell. So you just search Sean Mitchell, and you should be able to find me for my professional page. But as far as my artistic page and the page where I show a lot of my fashion, that that is under Roy G Bivens. I haven't been able to change the G from from G period to GEE. They won't let me change my name for some reason. So whenever I'm able to do that, I will let you guys know. So um, um, I'm also a singer. I'm looking for sessions to become a session singer, where I'm doing hooks, maybe background singing. I don't mind being in the background. I'm kind of shy, you know what I mean. It probably doesn't seem like that, but I'm pretty shy. So being a background singer is good for me, and I I'm also a um, I, I have a couple of songs in my mind that I haven't written down. So I like to sing various things, and you will see me doing my performances on on my channel at these various venues I visit, including Reno's and Webster, Texas. Um, uh, uh, what's the little bar that's in Kema, Texas, Voodoo Hut. Whenever they do karaoke, have a karaoke night, I'm there sometimes. And then of course Sound Bar is another one. So I I love to sing. I can get to the falsetto. I struggle with that a little bit. Almost kind of hurts my voice, but yeah, I'm because my voice is more deep than anything else. But yeah, I just love to sing, and I I I had a couple other things that I was gonna tell you guys. However, um, I've forgotten it, so I can save that kind of stuff for another video. I think what it was, I was going to tell you some of my musical interests. I'm very much a jazz guy. I like artists such as Paul Hardcastle, Najee, um, Dave Koz. I like jazz vocals more than anything else. And, Michael Franks is another one. And so yeah, I live very much outside of the mainstream, except for 90s and 2000s music, and mostly R&B, rap, and pop. And so those are the areas I like, as well as some jazz too. As I just told you, I'm into jazz, and a lot of what I like came out in the 90s. I think that was the best time period to be alive, and I was just a child in the 90s. So yeah, that's just an introduction to me. I will have plenty of videos. I will talk about current events, such as the NCAA tournament, which will be going on this week. I I was able to watch, or I wasn't able to watch the selection show because my cable stream won't let me get the station KHOU from the Houston area. So I couldn't even get it on the CBS Sports app, but I was able to watch the reaction on ESPN. So I'm a big sports guy. That might be the last thing I need to tell you. I live, breathe, and eat sports, and I follow the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, college basketball, and college football. Um, and I I have to watch Sports Center every night, so I'm a big sports guy. It's how I made a name for myself. I mentioned earlier that some of my work appeared on Yahoo Sports. That's because I'm big into sports. I've interviewed some very high profile people, such as the Super Bowl fame, Kevin Dyson, Mike Jones. I've interviewed Charlie Ward, Coach K, of course. He's the biggest name uh, I've ever interviewed. Uh, just a number. Jim Lawyer Nega was another one. So yeah, I'm a big sports guy, and I had another thought, but in going off on that tangent about sports, I have forgotten it. So whatever, I'll get to it in the next video. This is who I am. This is what I'm about, and I look forward to uh, expressing myself to the world and showing my various gifts. I've had a very unusual life. Been through a number of paranormal events, particularly in the 2000 teens decade. In the 2000 teens decade, I had a number of paranormal and supernatural events, and I will write books on that. I haven't written a book yet, but that's definitely coming. And so, and it wasn't just in the 2000 teens that I had these paranormal and supernatural events, but I've had them pretty much my entire life, to just to a lesser extent before and after. So, regardless, this is who I am, and I hope you enjoy what I have to bring to you. Oh, and one last thing, I remember what it was. I forgot. I went to Prairie View A&M University for 4 years, actually 5 years. My last semester there was 2009, but I never finished. I'm looking to get back because that's something I started and I got very close to. So why not finish up? I was a major in English, or excuse me, a major in communication with a minor in English. I worked in the writing center there. I worked for the school newspaper, the athletic department as a writer. Uh, I took part in a poetry slam there, and at Jasmine's Cafe, I performed a number of some of my favorite poems, and I will release my poems periodically on my channel. And so, and I'm a big U of H Coots fan. I've been a Coot fan long before I enrolled at Prairie View, since I was 9 years old, and it was very tough for early on because for the first 22 years that I watched Houston Cougar basketball, they went to one NCAA tournament and they kind of snuck in that year. So they didn't have an at large caliber team until 2018. I'm talking about college basketball in this case. I also like U of H football, but yeah, it's a pretty good time to be a Coug fan. I hope to go there in grad school, so that way I have a legitimate association with the University of Houston. It's everything that I love. You know, I regret not thinking of going there sooner. But with that said, I enjoyed my time at Prairie View. I love being at a HBCU around some of my people. Of course, I love all people. A lot of white people have done great things for me, and I wouldn't be here without their efforts and contributions. So don't get it twisted. Like I'm just saying Black Power and all that. I'm not like that. I hope to reach everyone, One of my poetry concepts is the power of love. So I have a series of poems talking about unconditional love for your fellow man, not talking about relationship love or anything like that. So yeah, I've gone on longer. I've led up to. I've said I was going to end sooner, but I do believe this is the very end. And so, oh, and also I should also say I'm originally from California. Was born in Fontana, California, and um, then when I was 7 years old, I moved to League City, Texas. Uh, except for college, I've lived in Galveston County for the last 30 years. First in League City, then splitting time between League City and Texas.